Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. I am just sharing to my page if it allows me to. Looks like it's not letting me do it. Hi. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Y'all doing all right? I missed you. Hey, Tina and Carolyn, Daryl, Deshelle, Nina, Natasha, Alexis. How are you all doing? I'm only going to wait just a few moments. I'm going to show you all today this really simple recipe with some skillet chops, pork chops. You could also use chicken. You can use chicken breast. You can, what else was I going to make with this recipe? I know you can use chicken breast with it because it's a really simple recipe that you can use whatever meat you want. I know everybody doesn't eat pork, and that's okay. Today I'm having, well, I won't be having it, but I'm making it for my family. If you're in the weight loss group, you know we are doing the quarantine weight loss challenge for the month of July, and I'm down almost 6 pounds, and it is day 5. So when I tell you that the method that I'm teaching the group works, honey, it works. So if you're missing out, you just gonna watch us go ahead and lose our quarantine weight. I told y'all to come on over there. Thank you for the stars. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna turn my my pot on and let it get warmed up a little bit on like a medium low heat. So what I got going on over here, you all, is I have my chops. I got some pork chops here, okay? And all I did was season them with an all-purpose. And the all-purpose that I used is my Caribbean all-purpose. So for this particular recipe or dish, all you need is a good all-purpose that has a mixture of like some onion powder, garlic powder, or whatever you like. But something like a base seasoning, something really basic. You don't need anything that's going to really stand out too much. Hey, Aretha, I see you, dear. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monique. So I got those seasoned. I did let them sit out a little bit, let them get room temperature, okay? Because we don't want to put them in the pan, in a hot pan, while they're cold. So they're not warm, but you know, you just want to let them sit out for a little bit before you cook them, okay? And I seasoned them, and they've been sitting here for about 30 minutes with the seasoning on them. Y'all know how I do with when I'm making mashed potatoes. I am making homemade mashed potatoes today, so I already got them cut. Remember the trick I told you? When you're cooking live, honey, or you need to make some potatoes and you just need to cut them ahead of time, cut them up and put them in a bowl of water, okay, so that they don't get brown. All right, so back here in this pot, I have my chicken broth that's boiling. So we're going to go ahead and put those into the pot. I'm going to turn it back up. And it's just chicken broth. I didn't put anything else in it. You don't have to use chicken broth. You could just use water with some salt in the pan. You don't have to do what I'm doing. But if you use some chicken broth and your homemade mashed potatoes, they will be good. So I'm going to drain these potatoes. I drained the water off. I'm going to go ahead and pour those in this pot back here so they can be cooking. All right. And I'll show you all that as it's cooking. It's really not nothing to show right now with that. Now, as far as the pan, you may have to move your comments. I kind of got some ingredients sitting here in front of me. My pan is getting warm, so I'm going to add me a little oil to the pan. And you could use whatever you like. This is a little sesame oil. And I'm also going to add a little butter because I want to cook my pork chops in a little butter too, okay? But if you don't want to use the butter, just use your little oil, okay? Don't let that, and I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Y'all know this eye cooks a little quicker, a little on a higher, I don't know why, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and start putting these chops in the pan. And you can use boneless pork chops. You can use chicken breast, honey, whatever you want to do. Once you see the recipe, you will see why I'm saying that, okay? Hi, Gladys. Thank you for the stars, Sheila. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Lisa. So I'm going to put me a couple in there. Let's see. This one looks pretty good. We want to have enough room. I could probably fit one more in there right now. I may just cook the rest of these for breakfast. Pork chops and eggs is pretty good, honey. Alright, let me rinse my hands off. Alright, I'm going to bring y'all over so you can see. Again, I only season the pork chops with my Caribbean all-purpose because we are going to make a creamy white wine sauce, okay? So we're going to use a little bit of white cooking wine, not regular wine. We're going to use cooking wine, but you can use regular dry white wine, okay? Just keep that in mind. We're going to add a little bit of chicken broth. If you don't want to cook with the wine, use chicken broth, okay, in place of that. We're going to make it a little thick, and we're going to make it a little creamy by adding a little heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to show y'all, honey, just how easy this is. Alright, we're going to turn this up a little bit. Our pork chops they cooking, but we can go a little more. Look, somebody said we losing weight with pork. Now, we sure are, honey. You can lose weight with anything if you in moderation. So we got our pork chops in the skillet. And I'm going to turn them up a little bit so they can get cooking. And over here is our potatoes, okay? All it is chicken broth. So boil those and cut your potatoes up like that. It'll cook a lot quicker, okay, when you're making mashed potatoes. So it'll just help cut back on that cooking time. And in the other pot, I have some green beans. Y'all want to see the green beans? I wasn't really going to show the green beans because I just wasn't. I just did some canned green beans. It wasn't no big deal with the green beans. So they've been cooking also for a little bit. I just got them cooking on low. Okay. So we're going to get our skillet up. If you can't see, you may have to move your comments. And I'll probably just go ahead and put y'all in the pan in just a minute once I start turning them over. Let me look at the other side. Thank you, Denise. Deja said we want to see everything. Okay, honey. Hi, Tyrella. Thank you, dear. So you got to let them cook for a little bit. You want them to get brown. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's so easy to make this recipe. The only thing is, once we cook our pork chops in the skillet and get them brown, we're going to remove them out of the pan. And then we're going to have to let them get tender. Okay, so we're going to end up putting them back into the skillet once we make our sauce. Or you can put them in the oven and let them cook. But you're going to have to let them get tender. Wait, what? Marshall said, I cooked the same thing a minute ago. I promise. That is amazing. That is amazing. All right, you all. Let's see. Not quite. Not quite. I use some sesame oil. But you don't have to use sesame oil, okay? I use some of my sesame oil. If I don't use that, you all, I use my my grapeseed. But you all know I will also use olive oil. I got some of this. I got all kind of things to use. But if you just use what you have, okay? You just use what you have. Oh, those are looking real good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, honey. Yes, honey. Hey, Sherry. Thank you. Hey, Marcia. Helen says she likes some pork chops and eggs. That's probably what I'm going to have in the morning. I'm not going to have one tonight because it's going to be in the sauce. And the sauce is going to be, it has carbs in it. And for this month, we are doing our carb counting and losing weight. So I'm going to have to pass on the sauce today. But I may make me some pork chops and eggs in the morning. Hi, Tamika from Tallahassee. Thank you, Luann, for the stars. Thank you, Marcia. Where do you buy, hold on, where do you buy wine to cook with? today, I shop a lot at Publix or Walmart. In the aisle where, is it the, what aisle is that, you all, with the cooking wine? I want to say it's by the salad dressings or something like that, or olive oils or something. Okay, so you want to cook your pork chops until they're browned on the side, on one side, for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then you want to turn them, and it's hard to hold this camera in. Now that one didn't get as brown as I like. I kind of want it to be like that, so I may turn that one back over. That one's okay over there. Let's look and see about this one. And that one's okay there. So now you want to give your pork chops another 3 to 4 minutes to cook on the other side. Okay. I have the potatoes like on a medium high heat, y'all, so they don't cook too quick while we're doing the pork chops. You said, by salad dressings and oils. That's right. Thank you, Sonia from St. Louis. Thank you, Angelita. Okay, good. So I am on the right track. Thank you, Jackie. Hi, Shannon. Hi, is it June Lynn? All right, so these are about done. The only thing I hate about this eye is like, it's just kind of crazy. That's all I can say about this stove. Somebody asked me about this stove. You don't want a stove like this, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now. Like I don't know who it was, but somebody reached out to me about this stove, and you don't want one of these. You do not. I actually prefer a gas stove. I grew up on gas stove. St. Louis, we had gas stove. So these stoves like this, I do not care for. Alright, now don't worry about if your pork chops are not all the way done, okay? Because we have to put them back into the pan. Alright, so because of the way this eye is, I'm going to have to turn this eye off. I'm going to take these pork chops out, and we're going to set them aside. So you see that? The juices are coming out already, but we're going to let them just... So I like them like that. I'm going to go ahead and let them get brown. And all of them pretty much look the same. This one's going to be a good one right here. Alright, we're going to sit these to the side. And now we're going to make our sauce, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, we have enough oil in here with butter. So I'm going to add a little bit of my flour because I want to thicken up my sauce. If you don't want it thick, don't add the flour. That's all you got to do. So just add your little flour. And get us a spoon. And you just want to stir it in. And you just want to stir it till it blends in with the oil, okay? I think I may add a little bit more flour because I want my sauce to be a little thicker. And how thick you want it is up to you, you all. As well as how much liquid you add. And I'll show you what I mean. So let me bring you over here so you can see. I want to put you in the pot. So let me turn you all around. Let me see. Let's work this out. Because I like when you all are in the pan so you all can see. So let's turn this way and get, sorry y'all, and get you this way. Okay, I want you in the pan so you can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, so now we got the stuff from our pork chops is just in the pan. You see how I just stirred it until the flour blended in, right? I may do a little bit more. Let me get that. It's kind of in the way. Alright, there we go. Just make sure you have enough oil or butter in your pan. This is also the way you can start a gravy or a roux. Make sure you have enough in there. Next thing I'm going to pour in, you all, is my cooking wine. If you're not using the wine, then use the chicken broth. But I'm going to add a little chicken broth too. So I'm going to stir this in. I'm not going to use much cooking wine. So you saw how much I poured in. I'm going to use the rest in chicken broth, you all. because that white wine has a strong flavor. So let's pour in our chicken broth, and we just gonna blend it until it blends together. I have to turn this particular eye back on, so if your stove is not like mine, you could have kept yours going. Mine is a little crazy. So this is going to blend together. So you just got to give it a few minutes because I had to turn the stove back on. If your stove was already on, it'll already be blending together. But just make sure you blend that flour in with the oil or the butter, because what'll happen is you will have a clumpy sauce, and you don't want a clumpy sauce, okay? And if y'all want on here, I would use probably a wire whisk, but it's okay. It's going to turn out just fine. So for me, that's going to be, I'm probably going to need the rest of that chicken broth. Don't worry if it's not thick enough. We can always thicken it up. I'm going to add in a little bit more of my butter because that's what I want. If you don't eat the butter or don't want to use it, it's okay. Your recipe will still be good. So I don't want you to think that it's not going to turn out as good. But butter does add a certain flavor for those of us that love butter. It just does. I love butter. Thank you, Isaac. Hi, Shakira. Hi, Patricia. Thank you. Oh, let me see what your question was. I'm sorry, dear. What kind of cooking wine do you use? Okay, Patricia, I have, let me show you while I'm starting to cook up. This is what I'm using today. But you can use regular white dry wine, or you can use any brand of cooking wine. You don't have to use the one that I use. It'll work all the same. Somebody said, gotta have lots of butter. That's right. So as you can see, it's starting to boil. So you just want to stir, stir, stir. It's going to begin to thicken up. But we want to blend this together first as much as we can. It's better to use a, if you have it, like a fork or a wire whisk, okay? Because it will help to blend it better. So if mine does have any clumps, don't do what I did. Make sure you use a fork or a wire whisk. You just don't want to scratch up your pan though, so. All right, so we're gonna blend, blend, blend. It's getting thick. It takes a few minutes. You gotta have a little patience with it. Oh, thank you, Brittany. Yes, I use store-bought brands. I don't have to have name brands when it comes to the foods. Now, thank you, Milo. Now, I do try both name brand and store brand to see which one is better or see if there's a difference. And oftentimes, the generic is just as good as the name brand. But there are some things, now we just got to keep it real. Some things you do have to buy the actual brand because you're just going to, you're not going to get the same quality. But most of the time you can. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Cam. Thank all of you for being here. Now, do you all see how that's getting thick now? It's starting to thicken up some. That's what you want, honey. Now, if you want it thicker, once you see the recipe, if you want it thicker, you can always blend in a little more flour. I wouldn't recommend you putting flour directly in here. If I was going to make this thicker, let me see, hold on, before I add some more. Because it may be just thick enough. I'm going to show you how to make it thicker without making it clumpy, okay? It smells so good. The white wine is just a really good aroma. Let's let that I'm turning it down. So we're not on a high heat, of course. We're down on a medium low. I'm going to add a little bit of my fresh parsley. We're going to let that sit there for just a minute. All right, if we're going to add some more, let me show you how to do that. So if we want to thicken this up a little bit, you all, you take your flour, put it in a cup or a bowl or something. So I'm going to put a little bit in there. Just like that. Okay. And then take you some chicken broth. I'm going to use chicken broth. Just taking some chicken broth and put it in the cup. And blend the flour together. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Put a little bit in it like that and blend it. Okay? It's the same way you would thicken up your gravy. If you're putting the flour right into the pot, It's gonna make it clumpy, and you're gonna create a mess. I'm telling you. I'm gonna have to get a fork that's not reaching all the way in there. But it's real easy. Real easy to do. Get that fork down there. Make sure you get all them clumps out. You got to get that flour to where it's real smooth before you pour it in that pan, okay? So you don't have any clumps. And just do the best you can. It'll blend and get real smooth. You see that? Then you want to pour it in. Just like that. Now see how that poured in? No clumps. Smooth, and that'll give you smooth gravy, okay? And smooth sauce, whatever you're trying to go for. All right, now this is the thickness that I want, okay? Just like that. Just like that. Now I'm going to add in some of my heavy whipping cream because I want to make mine creamy. Now you can leave your sauce like this. You can add whatever seasonings you want. I'm just going to add in a little bit of my adobo. Maybe a dash or two of my Greek all-purpose. And I'm just using this type of adobo. It has all of the seasonings in it that I like. Not too much, not too much, because you already have a lot going on. That's the flavor. It's not strong, but it's enough. It's enough. And my Greek all-purpose is way up there. Whew, it was hard to reach that, y'all. My goodness. And here's my Greek all-purpose. This is very good to have in your cabinet, okay, if you don't have it already. Just use it sparingly. I mean, it does have quite a bit of sodium. They do have a salt-free version that you could order. I know how it tastes, so I know how to work it, which many of you do too. All right, now we got that going. Now we're going to add in our heavy whipping cream. We don't need a lot of it, but you want to stir in enough to where you get it to how you want it, to the color you want and the creaminess. That looks pretty good to me, honey. And you just stir that around like that. See how easy that was to make that white wine creamy sauce, or creamy white wine sauce. And the last thing you want to do is you want to add your pork chops back in there, okay? Thank you, Carol. Bonita said, yes, honey. All right, go ahead and put your pork chops back in that sauce. Like that. Just something different you can do. Like I said, you can use this same recipe with your chicken. It doesn't have to be pork, okay? Put that back in there like that. If you want, you can add in a little spinach. I did have a little spinach, but let me put my sauce. I like to cover my pork chops with that sauce. Ooh, that looks good. I probably won't do my spinach since we already have green beans and things going. And once you get that in that sauce, honey, you want to cover it up and let it cook until they are tender enough for you. And everybody's on a different page with the tenderness. So I'm not going to tell you how long to leave them on for, but you want to cook them until they are tender enough for you. Okay? So what I'm going to end up doing is, you all, is posting a finished product picture, because I know I'm going to have to let mine cook for a little bit so that they can get tender. Remember my little trick in cutting up your pork or your meat, because it'll cook quicker. Okay, but I wasn't in a hurry really to get dinner done today. Everybody's kind of cool. Iola, you don't have to flip them over, okay? You don't have to flip them over. So I'm sorry, y'all, I gotta get me a new tripod. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna cover these, and then we're gonna do our homemade mashed potatoes. Y'all know I ain't got no pot, no top that fit. It's okay. It's okay. We gonna work it. Where is my other top? Oh, where did you go? There it is. I found it. If y'all watch me, y'all know I use this top. I always use that top for that. Okay, now let's get this out the way. Our mashed potatoes should be just about ready for us to put them together. I guess I'll do maybe a garlic mash. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Antoinette. Josette, it'll be in my next cookbook because I need to make sure. It depends. I probably do 4 to 5 pork chops for that recipe because that sauce does make a difference. How many, you know, how much you're cooking and everything like that. All right, let me wipe up a little bit. Y'all know I can't take it. And these potatoes been kind of splashing and being disrespectful over here. All right. Okay, so what did y'all think about that? Simple, right? Simple and easy. Simple and easy. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Tracy. Okay. You say my first time. I missed that. Oh, thank you, Scroggins. Thank you for all of the people that are here for the first time. Thank you all for the stars. Thank you for your your support. I thank you for all of that. Let me check. Oh yeah, the potatoes are ready, hunty. So I'm gonna drain those. For those that just kind of came on, the potatoes I boiled in chicken broth. You're free to boil them in water, but if you use that chicken broth, you don't have to add anything else. That chicken broth, the potatoes soak up that chicken broth flavor, okay? And it's not too much sodium, all right? So that's flavor right there in that pot, all by itself. Hey, Mike. Hey, Nikisha. Okay, so let's drain this. Woo. Hot, hot, hot. All right, I'm gonna move the green beans to the back. And I just did canned green beans, you all, today. Let's see, for the front, we're gonna put it on low because we're gonna be adding some things. I'm gonna add some butter. And I'll bring you all over here, okay, so you can see in the pot. So don't think I ain't gonna bring you over. We'll add a little bit of this. I'm done with this. I don't need this. I need some, hold on, y'all, because I meant to get everything down. I was prepared, I thought, but I need my garlic. I think that's all I need with that. Okay. All right. And the green beans, you all, I seasoned them with some of my bacon grease. What I normally do is I keep bacon grease, you know, just after I cook my bacon. Got it in the cup over there. So I add a little bit of that to my pot with my green beans, with a little chicken broth. And I use my green seasoning. Use some of that. Okay. And it'll just give your green beans a very good flavor. So I'm gonna leave those on low. So I'm gonna bring you all this way so y'all can see up in this pot. Let me see. These we don't need. We need butter. I don't need that. Don't need this. Okay. All right, here we go. So let me get y'all closer so y'all can see into the pot. All right, so here are the potatoes. I cut them up. We need an actual I cut mine up. It just cuts down on the cooking time, okay? So I'm gonna mash them up. Y'all know we gotta add some butter. I don't like my mashed potatoes like real creamy. I like them to have some type of clumpiness, even though I ain't gonna have none tonight, so I guess it don't matter. But I'm gonna make them the way I like them though. So I got my little masher here. I need more than that. I got just about 2 tablespoons there. We need more butter than that. Add a little bit of my heavy whipping cream. Let me open up my other butter because I need more. I need more butter for sure. And I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Butter. I'm going to add one more. Add that in. And we need our whisk. I'm going to get my whisk to kind of mix that up. Let's add in a little bit of our garlic. It may be too thick, not creamy enough yet for that whisk, but that's okay. I'm adding a little bit of garlic. I need a little bit of gotta do a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt. You can use yours at your discretion. A little bit of pepper. And I'm adding a little bit more of my cream. Okay. Homemade mashed potatoes are really easy. I have not bought boxed mashed potatoes in I don't know, God knows how long. I was probably over 10 years ago now. And if I bought it, I used to make baby food using boxed mashed potatoes for my kids. So I know it was some years ago. But if you just take some potatoes, honey, and peel them and cut them up and boil them in some chicken broth and add your flavor, you won't never buy another box mash again. You just won't. It's just so good. I'm gonna add a little bit of my parsley, but you do not have to. It's just fresh parsley. Sometimes I don't like my mashed potatoes just look all white. You know what I mean? So sometimes I like to add a little something to it. Like that. Now I'm carb counting, but I am going to taste that, okay? I am. I sure am. Let's see. I got to see what it tastes like. I can't just serve people the food and not taste it. It need a little bit more salt, y'all. You could use a little more butter too. So we're gonna add a little bit more butter. No, I'm not done yet, Alana. No, not yet. All right, can you all see? Simple and easy. So we just gonna cover that up, honey. Those are done and good to go. Good to go. So with the pork chops, you want to give them about, you see that? See how they cooking, you all? What y'all think about that? They smell amazing. They smell so good. So you let them cook a good 25, I don't know. You may want to cook them a little longer depending on the tenderness that you want your pork chops to be. Okay. We got our mashed potatoes. I'm going to cover that up. And we got our green, we got our green beans. So what I would do is I will post the finished product of everything once it's done. And show you all the pork chops on top of those mashed potatoes, honey. And I'm gonna drizzle some of that sauce on there. Okay. I'm gonna add the chops on top of when I put the pork chops on top of the mashed potatoes with the sauce, I'm gonna put those scallions on top, honey. What was I looking for? The top for the mashed potatoes. And that's it. So thank y'all for hopping on. And I will not forget to post the finished product. Sometimes I forget because I be so hungry and I just start eating or I'm feeding the family. But today that won't be the case because I'm not having any. So I'll be either making me a salad. I got a piece of steak from yesterday that I made for myself. Oh, Kim, I'll be back. She said, please don't leave. So thank you all again for all the stars. Thank you, Carline. Thank you for taking the time to hop on. Make sure you look out for the finished product because I will be posting it here shortly when these are done. So I'll let you know how long I cooked mine. What they've been cooking now about, what, 10 minutes? So I'm going to set a timer for at least another 15 minutes and check, check the tenderness of them. Okay. Okay, we can do lasagna. I just showed the pork chops. You want to see them again? They not done yet. You got to cook them till they get tender, okay? Until they done. So there are the pork chops. Cooking in that creamy white wine sauce. Oh, I missed you too. I missed you all. I did. I had to go on. I had to take my break. If you've been following me for a while, you know I normally take a break a couple of times throughout the year. But, and I do post a lot of videos. It's just that this month we're doing the weight loss. I am active in my weight loss group, especially when we're doing things like this, the weight loss challenge, because I want to teach people how to lose weight. So I spend a lot of my energy over there, but I do plan to try to post at least 2 videos a week. And I do cook on Sundays at 6 p.m. I did not cook last Sunday because I was on my break. So I took the last week and a half in June off because we started our carb counting July 1st. So if you gain some extra weight or you just want to lose some weight, or if you are just interested in growing closer to the Lord, then come on over to Weight Loss and Lifestyle Changes. We'll accept you in. The group is free. We have some amazing leaders in that group. Aretha's one of them. She's on here. Keisha's usually on here too. Claire, Anthony. We love to serve you all. It's just a positive group. So come on over if you just want to come see what we about. So I'm going to hop off. I will. Why is this thing? Okay. Make sure it's not cooking too high. Make sure when you cooking this recipe that you make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the phone, okay? I mean, phone. I saw somebody say phone on there. Sticking to the bottom of the pan, okay? Make sure you check it. I got to check mine because my pot is crazy. My stove is crazy. So just make sure when you walk away, you come back and check after a few minutes to make sure it's not sticking or anything. You don't want to mess up your sauce. All right, I see some of the weight loss group is in here. Hey, y'all. It's good to see y'all. Y'all see, y'all know I'm not going to have none of this, honey. None. Absolutely nothing. I'm about to eat me. I got me some salad in here. I'm not playing. Y'all know I'm not. I'm down almost, like I said, almost 6 pounds in 5 days. And many of the other members are too. So we are using the technique that the carb counting, and we're losing weight. So we are loving it. Hey, KK. Thank you, Shellen, for the stars. Thank you, Josephine. Thank you, Lisa. Weight Loss and Lifestyle Changes. Thank you, Catherine. I will post the finished product. I'll post it in the group. I mean, on my page. So it will be there. It will be there. Okay, Linda. The pork chops and the green beans are low in carb, but because of this sauce, I added in the heavy whipping cream. Let me see. There's just too much to be adding up, so I wasn't going to worry about it. Actually, the whipping cream, the heavy cream is not high in carb. I don't know. The flour, I put that flour in there. That's what I was thinking about, the flour. So, I know that's right, Aretha. We are cruising. Thank you. Is it Kenya? Thank you, Criselda. Yes, Aisha. The video will stay up. The video will stay up. So I'll leave this video here, and then I'll come back and post a picture of the finished product, and I'll put a link to the video, to the live, for those that may have missed it and they see the the picture of the pork chops and I want to go make it. It's really easy. All I recommend is that you use not too much of this. Hey, Willie. Yes, Sandra, it's good, honey. It's good. My mom's friend was talking about that cabbage stew. All I recommend is that you don't use a lot of this unless you know what it tastes like. Cooking wine, white cooking wine has a potent taste. It's strong. So that's why I didn't use that much. Okay, and if you don't like using the cooking wine, like I said, just use chicken broth. Okay, and it'll be just as good. It'll be just as good. Oh, Ashley. Girl, those king crab legs were good. All right, y'all. I'm going to hop off. Because we'll keep going. Y'all know we'll keep going and going and going. I appreciate each and every one of you, okay? And then I'll come back and show the finished product. Be blessed. I'll see some of y'all in the morning, bright and early. We walk every morning at 6 a.m. So weight loss and lifestyle changes, y'all need to be ready at 6 a.m. I'm going to be coming on for you to see if you walking. Have a good night.